Good morning. It's time for our daily dose of good news on April 23rd, and it is from Genesis, chapter 46, verses 28 through 47, verse 6. And to give a little bit of context, this is after Joseph had been taken to Egypt, originally as a slave after his brothers had thrown him into the pit. He had been retrieved, taken to Egypt. He eventually became elevated to the ranks of an assistant to Pharaoh. His brothers had come during the famine, met him. Joseph at this point has sent them to go get their father. He has acknowledged, "You are my brothers, go get my father, bring him here. You all will live in Egypt during this time of famine." So this is as the father, Jacob, also known as Israel, is heading to meet Joseph for the first time in many, many years since their separation, when he had believed Joseph was dead. Verse 28. Israel sent Judah ahead to Joseph to lead the way before him into Goshen. When they came to the land of Goshen, Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet his father Israel in Goshen. He presented himself to him, fell on his neck, and wept on his neck for a good while. Israel said to Joseph, "I can die now, having seen for myself that you are still alive." Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up and tell Pharaoh, and will say to him, 'My brothers and my father's household, who were in the land of Canaan, have come to me. The men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have.' When Pharaoh calls you and says, 'What is your occupation?' you shall say, 'Your servants have been keepers of livestock from our youth, even until now, both we and our ancestors, in order that you may settle in the land of Goshen, because all shepherds are abhorrent to the Egyptians.' So Joseph went and told Pharaoh, 'My father and my brothers with their flocks and herds and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan. They are now in the land of Goshen.' From among his brothers he took 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to his brothers, 'What is your occupation?' And they said to Pharaoh, 'Your servants are shepherds, as our ancestors were.' They said to Pharaoh, 'We have come to reside as aliens in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants' flock, because the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now we ask you, let your servants settle in the land of Goshen.' Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, 'Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best part of the land. Let them live in the land of Goshen. And if you know that there are capable men among them, put them in charge of my livestock.'" Here ends the reading. In this passage today, I think we see beautiful glimpses of God. First, in reconciliation, in Joseph and his father being reunited after much pain, and Joseph sobbing on his father's neck in an embrace. It's a beautiful picture of what God is interested in, of reuniting people together in relationship, and God bringing the best out of all components. And I'm sure for Joseph, when he was originally thrown in the pit by his brothers and he was in slavery and in prison for a while, it did not look good, and it would be easy to doubt, where's God in all of this? And yet God brings good out of many things, even sinful things that God did not cause or create. God still brings reunification. And when they come to the land of Egypt, Goshen is the land that is the best part of the land. And so Joseph encourages his brothers to be honest with Pharaoh of your shepherds, even though that seems like that's maybe not a good thing to say to Pharaoh, because shepherds are abhorrent to Egyptians. But be honest about who you are. Come with authenticity in that, explain who you are, and in that they are rewarded with the very best land in Egypt. And they then multiply and have generation after generation. And so what an asset for them that they were placed in this land that was fertile, where they could thrive. Because of who they were, they got put in this separate area where they could flourish. So I think there's lots for us to learn in this text about where might we seek reconciliation, even if it involves crying on each other's necks. Where might we come with authenticity before God and before one another, owning who we are and what we are, and being honest in that, and recognizing God appreciates authenticity, God appreciates reconciliation, and that those are places where we can come into very close communion with God. And that God, in all circumstances, whether known to us or unknown, God is always working. God is always looking for redemption. God is always looking for ways to help. God is also always looking for ways to be with us in all things, no matter how difficult they seem or how painful they are. And that is good news for today. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye.